Welcome back to Exciting Europe.
In this video, we will uncover the secrets and splendor of Venice's Doge's Palace. More than just a beautiful building, this incredible landmark was the very heart of the Venetian Republic for centuries. Imagine, the Doges themselves resided here. The most powerful magistrates held court, and every governing body of this influential maritime empire operated within these very walls. Though repeatedly tested by devastating fires, the Doge's palace always rose again, its spirit undimmed. Each reconstruction brought new artistic treasures, with ceilings and walls brought to life by masters like Veronese and Tintoretto. Join us as we wander through the magnificent staterooms, where their breathtaking canvases vividly depict the power and glory of Venice at its zenith. Get ready to immerse yourselves in the rich history and artistry of one of the world's most extraordinary palaces.
The palace is open daily from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. However, with it being Venice's most popular museum, securing your tickets in advance with a timed entry slot is highly recommended. You'll find a direct booking link in the description below, or simply scan the QR code you see on the screen right now. Pre-purchased tickets are just €13. Please note that there are multiple entrances, so be sure to follow the instructions on your ticket. Currently, those with pre-booked tickets enter from the Piazzetta side, while those without should head to the entrance on the Grand Canal side. The Doge's Palace is a truly colossal structure, whose immense scale can only be fully appreciated from within its walls. A visit here is an absolute must for anyone coming to Venice, even if your itinerary is just a single day and you're traveling on a budget. The palace encompasses stunning courtyards and two distinct building sections. The familiar three-story palace we see from the waterfront and the prisons on the opposite side, connected by the iconic Bridge of Sighs, which has 4 floors. With at least 50 different rooms and halls to explore, creating a video that covers every single detail and artwork within the Doge's Palace is a visually daunting task, as you'll quickly realize upon entering. Therefore, consider this video your introduction to this magnificent landmark, designed to help you plan your visit effectively and make the most of your time. We recommend allocating at least 1.5 hours for your exploration. Our tour begins in the palace courtyard, where we'll delve into the fascinating traditions of the Doge's coronation ceremony and the history of the Golden Staircase. From there, we'll move into the opulent staterooms, highlighting 5 particularly breathtaking chambers and antechambers. Finally, our journey will conclude in the new prisons and across the legendary Bridge of Sighs.
The Doge's Palace courtyard presents a captivating scene where 3 of its sides are formed by the palace itself, with the majestic flank of St. Mark's Basilica rising along the 4th. The intricate carved decorations adorning this space are truly exquisite, a testament to the skilled craftsmanship with significant contributions from the renowned Lombardo family. Adjacent to St. Mark's Basilica facade stands the impressive giant staircase, historically envisioned as a grand stage for the solemn ceremony of the Doge's coronation. Fashioned from luminous Istrian limestone, the staircase is celebrated for its remarkably detailed and subtly carved low reliefs, often compared to the delicate artistry of a goldsmith. Upon the broad landing at its summit, the Doge would be crowned, adorned with a white skull cap, or camaro, and the jeweled peaked cornu, a headdress inspired by Byzantine styles and a potent symbol of his authority. the colossal statues of Neptune and Mars, the giants that lend their name to the staircase, stand as powerful representations of the Republic's dominion over both the seas and the land. In the center of the courtyard, you'll find two distinctive octagonal well-heads, crafted by the gunsmiths Nicole de Conti and Alfonso Alberghetti. These exceptional Mannerist pieces, possibly conceived by Sansovino, hold the unique distinction of being the only bronze well-heads in all of Venice. Here you can also observe a rare surviving example of a gondola with a cabin, offering a glimpse into the private transport of bygone eras. Today, only a handful of these remain, with another notable example housed in the Rezzonico Museum, and several maquettes displayed in the Courtyard Museum. For centuries, the gondola served as the primary and most ubiquitous mode of transportation within Venice. First documented in 1094, it's estimated that 17th and 18th century Venice boasted an astonishing 8,000 to 10,000 gondolas. In stark contrast, only around 400 remain in active service today, almost exclusively dedicated to tourist excursions. Historically, gondolas often featured cabins to ensure privacy and were frequently embellished with lavish decorations. The golden staircase derives its name from the opulent decoration of its vault, adorned with white stucco and lavish 24-karat gold leaf, a project begun by Alessandro Vittoria in 1557. The frescoed panels integrated into this decorative scheme are the work of Giambattista Franco. Commissioned in 1555 by Doge Andrea Gritti, the staircase was entrusted to the architect Jacopo Sansovino. It was eventually completed by Scarpagnino in 1559. This magnificent staircase served as the ceremonial route leading to the Doge's private apartments and the chambers where the principal governing bodies of the Venetian Republic convened. Intriguingly, the first ramp of the staircase is dedicated to Venus, a symbolic allusion to Venice's historical conquest of the island of Cyprus, the mythical birthplace of the goddess.
This chamber served as the central hub for the Doge and his council, or cabinet, where they convened for crucial deliberations and received esteemed ambassadors. Known as the Savi, Wise Ones, the council comprised 26 members, including the Doge himself, 6 councilors representing each of the city's districts, and the 3 judges of the criminal tribunals. Stepping into the room today, you'll witness it much as it appeared after its renovation between 1575 and 1581, complete with the rostrum and benches where the collegio, the full assembly, would sit. The gilded ceiling, a masterpiece by the lesser-known Francesco Bello, is widely regarded as the most exquisite within the palace. Its beauty is amplified by the magnificent allegorical paintings by Veronese, a remarkable feat completed in just 2 years, from 1575 to 1577. The 3 central panels are particularly striking. Above the rostrum, Justice and Peace, offering the sword, scales, and olive branch to triumphant Venice, depicts an allegorical Venice enthroned regally. The central oval showcases faith, represented by a figure amidst the clouds, emphasizing the pivotal role of Christianity in the Venetian state. In the third panel, with St. Mark's campanile gracing the background, Mars, whose horse's head is adorned with flowers, clearly not prepared for battle, and Neptune symbolize Venice's peaceful dominion over the mainland and the sea. Above the benches hangs a painting by Veronese depicting Sebastiano Venier giving thanks to the Redeemer after the Battle of Lepanto. This pivotal naval engagement took place on October 7, 1571, when the fleet of the Holy League, a coalition of Catholic states, decisively defeated the Ottoman Empire's fleet in the Gulf of Patras. The Holy League's victory at Lepanto holds immense significance in the history of both Europe and the Ottoman Empire. as it resulted in the near-complete destruction of the Ottoman fleet.
This chamber served as the seat of the Senate, the legislative body of the Venetian Republic. The senators were also known as pregati, a term derived from the formal begging or invitation extended by the Doge upon their election to assume their roles. Over time, their numbers expanded from an initial 60 to 120. Chosen from among the patrician class, their term of office was limited to 1 year. As the central hub of the Republic's political life, the Senate held significant authority, including the nomination of magistrates, ambassadors, bishops, and the patriarch. It was also the body that engaged with foreign courts and held the sole power to make the momentous decision to declare war. Designed by Antonio da Ponte, the chamber's ceiling features Tintoretto's magnificent central panel, Venice exalted among the gods. This artwork depicts Venice enthroned against a vibrant red shell, with Neptune and Mars in attendance, surrounded by a rich abundance of the sea's bounty. The paintings adorning the walls are predominantly votive portraits of former doges. Above the tribune hangs Tintoretto's monumental depiction of Pietro Lando and Marcantonio Trevisan, separated by a central Pietà. Adding to the chamber's artistic significance is Palma Giovane's Allegory of the League of Cambrai. This painting interprets the infamous alliance of the Pope, the Holy Roman Emperor, and various European powers, an alliance that launched a significant attack on Venice's power during the Dogeship of Leonardo Loredan. As a victory for the Republic, Venice is portrayed brandishing a sword against a man riding Europa, the bull, while Doge Loredan observes, accompanied by the Lion of St. Mark, as he receives a crown from 2 winged victories.
From the Senate chamber, we will proceed towards the chamber of the Council of 10, passing through the Room of the 4 Doors and observing the original, stunningly preserved floor pavement. This is the chamber of the Council of 10. This influential body of 10 councilors functioned as a court for political crimes, earning a reputation as a notably strict arm of the government, proving particularly effective during times of crisis. It was this very council that ordered the execution of Doge Marine Fallier in 1355 for his attempts to transform his elected position into a hereditary, despotic rule. The judges serving on this council held office for a single year and were ineligible for immediate re-election. The ceiling of this chamber showcases early works by Veronese, making them particularly significant as they represent his initial commissions for the Doge's palace upon his arrival in Venice from Verona at around the age of 30. In the oval panel situated in the far right-hand corner, when facing away from the windows, the allegory of youth and age is depicted through an old man in Eastern attire, accompanied by a young woman, revealing a discernible influence from Michelangelo. The rectangular panel in the center of the left-hand side, titled Juno Offering Gifts to Venice, and considered an early masterpiece by Veronese, was seized by Napoleon in 1797 and taken to Brussels before finally being returned to its rightful place in 1920. Sadly, the original of the central oval painting, Jupiter Fulminating the Vices, which was also taken to Paris by Napoleon in the same year, was never recovered and remains in the Louvre. On the end wall above the tribune hangs Aliense's Adoration of the Magi. To the right is The Meeting Between Pope Alexander III and Doge Giovane by Francesco and Leandro Bassano, while on the left wall is Marco Vecellio's Pope Clement VII and the Emperor Charles V, painted in 1529 to commemorate the declaration of peace between the Pope and the Emperor in Bologna, depicted sitting side by side in a display of unity.
Prepare to be utterly astonished by the chamber of the Great Council. the undisputed titan of the Doge's palace and the former nerve center of the entire Venetian Republic. Imagine a space so vast that it once accommodated the entire assembly of Venice's patrician class, a true testament to the city's power and ambition. Originally constructed on this immense scale in 1340, this hall, measuring a staggering 52 meters long, 24 meters wide, and soaring 11 meters high, witnessed the ratification of laws and the election of the Republic's highest officials, including the Doge himself. Picture it filled with 9 long rows of benches, stretching the entire length, where councilors would sit, facing away from each other, in the heart of Venetian governance. Though the original 14th and 15th century frescoes and the magnificent ceiling, created by leading artists like Bellini and Carpaccio, tragically succumbed to the devastating fire of 1577, the Republic's spirit was undimmed. The very next year, the most celebrated artists of the era were commissioned to resurrect its grandeur, a monumental undertaking finally completed in 1595. Following Veronese's death in 1588, Tintoretto secured the prestigious commission to repaint a paradise on the entrance wall above the dais. 2 of his preliminary sketches for this colossal work still exist, one in the Louvre and another in Madrid. However, due to his advanced age, much of the enormous canvas, measuring 7 meters by 22 meters, was actually brought to life by his son Domenico, likely with the assistance of their family workshop. While technically depicting the Assumption or coronation of the Virgin, with Mary in heaven beside Christ, the true spectacle lies in the breathtaking multitude of the Blessed that fills the rest of the painting. Despite its initial acclaim, today this immense masterpiece is perhaps less appreciated due to its sheer scale and the impossibility of viewing it up close. Time has darkened its pigments, and it has suffered from less than ideal restorations in the past. Above, the magnificent wooden ceiling, a design by the architect, painter, and cartographer Cristoforo Sordi, is divided into 35 compartments. However, the most captivating paintings reside in the 3 central panels. Closest to the dais is Veronese's Venice Surrounded by Gods and Crowned by Victory, also known as the Apotheosis of Venice, a radiant masterpiece of light and color painted just before his death in 1588. He cleverly included a throng of contented Venetians behind a balustrade bearing the coat of arms of the commissioning Doge, Nicole da Ponte, alongside horses, dogs, and knights in gleaming armor. The grand architectural setting, with its distinctive barley sugar columns, is a hallmark of Veronese's allegorical style. The central rectangular panel showcases another extraordinary work by Jacopo Tintoretto, illustrating cities spontaneously electing to be subjects of Venice, where Venice, surrounded by deities, presents an olive branch to Doge Niccolò da Ponte. At the far end, Palma Giovane's Subjugation of the Cities to Venice depicts Venice welcoming conquered nations around her throne, a piece that firmly establishes his artistic merit alongside his more renowned contemporaries. These 3 masters, along with Francesco Bassano, also contributed the other ceiling paintings, each commemorating victorious battles in Venice's illustrious history. The grand historical canvases lining the walls recount pivotal events from the Republic's early days. On the wall facing the lagoon, 7 paintings vividly depict the events of the Fourth Crusade of 1204, including Domenico Tintoretto's dramatic Capture and Sack of Constantinople, where Venetian galleons are prominently featured outside the city walls. On the opposite wall, overlooking the courtyard, the 12th century conflicts between the Church and the Holy Roman Empire are commemorated, culminating in the peace proclaimed by Venice in 1175. Especially striking is Domenico Tintoretto's depiction of the Battle of Salvore. This naval engagement unfolded in the waters near Savudria, a dramatic clash between the Venetian fleet, commanded by Doge Sebastian Ziani and Nicola Contarini, and the forces of the Holy Roman Empire, led by Emperor Frederick Barbarossa's own son. The frieze displays the portraits of the first 76 Doges, from Obelario degli Antinori in 804 to Francesco Venier, who died in 1556. This original frieze perished in the 1577 fire, leading to a new commission for Tintoretto and Palma Giovane, ultimately executed by Domenico Tintoretto and his assistants.
Leaving the breathtaking grandeur of the Chamber of the Great Council, our journey now takes a darker turn as we are guided through the fascinating Armory collection and towards the infamous Bridge of Sighs, our passage to the stark reality of the new prisons. New prisons, with their imposing facade, were a significant undertaking in 1560 and 1589. And finally completed by Antonio and Tommaso Contino in 1614. Prepare to enter a labyrinth of somber corridors that wind past numerous cells. Some bearing the poignant graffiti left behind by long-ago prisoners, we will then cross back over the Bridge of Sighs, this time with a deeper understanding of the contrast between the palace's opulence and the adjacent confinement.
And so concludes our exploration of the magnificent Doge's Palace, a place where the echoes of power, artistry, and even sorrow resonate through its grand halls and hidden corners. From the breathtaking scale of the Chamber of the Great Council to the poignant stories held within the new prisons, this palace offers an unparalleled glimpse into the heart of the Venetian Republic's long and fascinating history. We hope this video has provided you with a captivating introduction to this iconic landmark and perhaps inspired you to plan your own visit to experience its wonders firsthand. If you enjoyed this journey through time and art, please like this video and subscribe for more explorations of incredible historical sites. Let us know in the comments below which part of the Doge's Palace intrigued you the most. Thank you for joining us.